see if we can host a week. We can call Elvis to give us the opening prayer.
Beloved of the Lord, shall we pray? We thank you, our most glorious Lord, for how far you have brought us. Indeed, you alone deserve all our souls' adoration, thanksgiving, and all our glory, all the glory. We thank you for being with us from the very day even today. We are so grateful to you for the numerous ideas you've given to us and for showing us the ways by which we can improve the work of our institute. We pray that today too we shall be in our midst and steer the affairs of our program and help us continue to give us ever more ideas that can help in the advancement of our work. We know that you shall be with us and shall carry us to the expected end. We thank you for we know you shall do it for us. Through Jesus Christ our Lord we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Thank you, Elvis. Our chairperson for this morning session is Dr. Patricia Penaman Echampo. Shall we welcome her?
Thank you very much. Today I'm going to be very strict on the time. And I'm happy that those who instituted the time are presenting the time round. So they'll go by what they have instituted. So the first person is the head of division. He has 15 minutes. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. I'm presenting for the Scientific Support Services Division and also for my work in PR activities. My name is Jason Wachi. My presentation outline, general introduction on SSS Division, PR activities carried out in 2020, planned activities for 2021, and publication. The Scientific Support Services Division comprises of 6 units, and these include the library, the Scientific Secretary's Office, Biometrics, Statistics, Information Technology, Training, Communication and Publication Unit, and the Public Relations Unit. By way of staff strength, we have a total number of 24 members of staff, 9 research scientists, 2 of them are on study leave now, 7 senior staff, 2 junior staff, national service persons 4, and NAPCO personnel 2. The objective of our division is to support research through the coordination, management of information and data systems, and communication of research results to end users. What does our library do? The library unit supports the research programs of the Institute and all other organizations and individuals as well, through the management and provision of information to users. The unit also engages in services such as printing, scanning, photocopying, and binding of documents on commercial basis. The core duties of the Scientific Secretary's Office comprise documentation, information, and communication. The office is also responsible for compilation, editing, and publication of all statutory reports of the Institute. Our biometrics statistics unit leads the statistical analysis contributions to our research projects by providing expert advice from the very beginning of such projects and ensuring that the studies follow the appropriate statistical techniques. Our IT unit provides information and communication technology support for our research activities. Training, communication, and publication unit promotes improved technologies through training and material development for increased crop productivity. Last but not the least, the PR unit coordinates media activities and reportage on the Institute, organizes open days, and represents the Institute at exhibitions and fairs. The unit is also responsible for the organization of seminars and also coordinates visits to the Institute. By way of the director's ratings on scientific publications and donor-funded projects, we see this as a challenge which the division should be able to surmount. PR activities at the Institute. We see communication at the Institute as a major strategic activity because research is never complete until the results are shared with farmers and other end users. And a good communication system between actors of agricultural development are vital tools for the transfer of new and improved technologies to farmers. So, the objective of the PR unit is to develop, improve, and maintain an efficient communication system and other support services to fulfill our Institute mission of developing and disseminating improved varieties and production technologies, building capacity so that we can improve the livelihoods of all Ghanaians. Our specific objectives are to publicize our activities among our key stakeholders, 2, to share research results and promote delivery of technologies among our end users, and 3, to enhance stakeholder engagement so as to influence policy decision making. In 2020, we had, as part of PR activities, media programs. The media programs included radio discussion programs, press release, media coverage on all the activities that we did. The activity 2 was our participation in 2 exhibitions, the National Farmers Day exhibition and the Farmers Day itself in Techiman, in the Bono East region. And also, there was a MAG sponsored exhibition which was organized by the Sunyani Regional Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, which we attended. We developed some pillars on the MAG, some of the MAG disseminating activities at the Institute. involving the various crop varieties. These are just 3 offset plots. Plan activities for 2021. Our key activities is to coordinate and participate in media programs as we've been doing already. We'll participate in at least the National Farmers Day exhibition. We'll coordinate the installation of signposts on market dissemination activities in project districts and municipalities. We'll complete the development of the maize production video under the PAIR project. We'll write proposals for donor-funded projects, and we'll also perform our administrative duties as head of the Scientific Support Services Division, as a member of the Institute's IMC, and also a member of the Directors Management Committee. I thank you very much for this publication. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you. You were really within time. Thanks for giving us some time. The next presenter is Miss Linda Nsakwa. Linda, you have 10 minutes.
Good morning. I'm Linda. It is a wonderful public relations unit. My presentation will focus on the proposed activities, as my head has already presented the activities that we took last year. As part of CRI mission to develop and disseminate demand-driven technologies and build capacity, we have been, over the years, hosting students and other stakeholders here who visit to familiarize themselves with the Institute's activities and develop technologies. So this year we will continue to do that. Already we've had 2 visits from Kwadaso Agri College and College of Tropical Agriculture. We expect visits from MOPA staff, farmer-based organizations, innovation platforms. These study tours, as we've already identified, has helped our stakeholders to familiarize themselves with CRI research activities and technologies available. It has also helped to increase visibility of CRI among stakeholders. These are some of the pictures of visits from students from Agri College and MOPA staff. Another objective of the division is also to organize seminars. We've had 1 seminar this year. We've sent requests to scientists to bring topics for seminars. So please, we will still be encouraging you to send it to the PR office. As we've already seen, there have been a number of proposals at the in-house, but due to time, there's not been much time to discuss. So we also encourage scientists to bring topics that we can present at seminars and have more time that can be discussed, and then people will make input into it for it to be developed into articles and journals. We also encourage that all scientists will coordinate with us whenever we come to them for information, so that we can also send information to the public whenever they call us. Thank you.
That was quick. Thanks for saving us some time. The next presenter is Mr. Sechiama. Ben, you have 10 minutes.
Good morning. My name is Bernard. I'm the scientific secretary of the institute. Forgive me to take on the notes for the next 10 minutes. So, this will be the outline of my presentation. Basically, these are the core duties of the office, but since I came, there's been a lot of other things that have been added. There are two of us. I am ably assisted by Ms. Ruth Edu Domina, who is a senior administrative assistant. So, like I said, our duties include preparing all annual and quarterly reports, preparing for such programs as this in-house program. I'm also responsible for promotions for senior members, and then since I came, I've also added the responsibility of managing our social media pages and some other things. So last year, so I first speak on the quarterly reports. So as you can see, all our reports were late, and this is because scientists always submit their reports late. And we've had the cause to find so many ways, publishing names and all that, but the situation still persists. So that is a very big challenge for me at the moment. Last year's annual report was successfully published. These are just a few of the pictures from the report. A few more ones that we did. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Sylvester Adi. He did very good work for me on the report. There was no in-house last year, but the previous year we had it. And for the first time, we managed to present certificates to some very deserving presenters. So as you can see, Mr. Weldon taking this, Dr. Owusu Dampa also accepting his certificate. So I brought this just to give us an idea and then make us think if there's any way we can restructure the in-house program, because the attendance after the snack break compared to that before the snack break, it's just mind-boggling. So you can see the continuous decline every time. So the blue is before the snack break, and the orange is after the snack break. The other one is after the lunch break. So maybe we should think of something to do. This is a pictorial evidence of what I just said. So as you can see, before the break, the room is filled. After the break, virtually empty seats. Like I said, I'm also in charge of senior member promotions. So I receive, I process, and then the committee also meets. Last year we received a total of 12 applications from senior members. I'm just comparing it to the last 2 years, so you can see. Unfortunately, or should I say, we still don't have a lot of applications from our female scientists. So last year was okay. 2019 we had 4. Last year we had just 2. So council has introduced a new online system for us to now use to apply for the promotion. This is how it looks like. So far, we've only had one applicant use the system to apply for the promotion. I am also involved in website management, producing articles for the site. I'm also part of a committee that works on the website. So these are some of the stories we have on the site as of now. A few updates that we have. And then, like I said, I'm also in charge of our social media pages. So these are some of the stories we posted on our Facebook page, our Twitter page. And this is just to show us how our Facebook page is doing. We have over 2,000 likes and over 2,500 followers. We're not doing too badly. It's also our YouTube page. We have a number of videos, but we still entreat scientists to bring us more. These are our 2 most viewed videos on YouTube as we speak. One on pesticide abuse and the other from the biotech quality seed yam production, which are doing very well online. So for this year, I'll still be part of all the main things that I do. I'll be a part of the CRI TV team. I'm a member of a number of committees. I'll still continue to work on the social media platforms. We have
Time up then.
developed, okay. We've developed a quarterly reporting format which I hope to use this year, so that instead of you using Word to submit your quarterly reports, you fill this form online and then it comes to me directly. I'd like to thank Mr. Augustine Ofosu for developing the form for me. It will help. So we'll still continue with our core duties, quarterly reports, annual report, and then these are a few of my publications.
Thank you very much. Yes, you are supposed to do better than all of us. Our next presenter is Mr. Elvis Obeng, Ejay Obeng. Elvis, you have 10 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Please, good morning, everyone. I am Elvis, your bionutrition. And this is a brief outline of my presentation. My first activity is on the in vitro evaluation of fungicide concentrations against indigenous botrytis species that causes brain mold on tomato and leaf blight on cabbage. And these are my team members. Botrytis affects a variety of crops, crop products, and in transport and also in storage. And then the disease causes post and pre-harvest loss of about 35 and 85 on fruits and vegetables. Some of the species have developed resistance to the active ingredients in some fungicides and pesticides. The study seeks to ascertain whether some of the indigenous protracted species have developed resistance to some of these fungicides which are available to the farmers as Pantiakon. And we also sought to evaluate, to determine the most effective of the 3 fungicide concentrations so that we can recommend to our farmers. So we sought 5 isolates from Pantiakon, and the treatments, we evaluated 3 fungicides at the recommended concentration and 5% below and 5% above, including a control. The radial growth of the mycelium were also measured for 48 and 72 hours after inoculation, and the percentage inhibition was estimated, and the experiment was laid out as a 10x5 RCBD in 3 replications. The data was analyzed as a factorial repeated ANOVA in GenStats, and this is the formulation of our RM factorial model, and means separated with Tukey's HSD at 5%. Two experiments were conducted. The first one was on the fresh concentration, and also the second one was also on to check if the farmers do not apply the concentrations fresh enough and then they wait for 8 days, what will happen? And here, the assumption of the sericity was violated by the multiple test. So it was corrected by using the Epsilon Geyser-Meyer correction factor to adjust the degree of freedoms so that the assumptions will be met. And here you can see that for the fresh concentrations, the interaction of time by the fungicide concentration and the isolate was significant. And for the experiment that was done on the 8-day-old, you can see that it was not so significant. And this is on the graph on the fresh fungicide concentrations. What is interesting here is that concentration of cannabinoids, that is 5% above the farmers, the manufacturers recommended dose, is giving us 100% inhibition on all the 5 isolates which we tested. And also, some of the ADEPA was also having, was stimulating the growth of the isolates by having negative inhibitions. And the fungicide concentration we proved, based on the fresh prepared fungicide concentration, was found to be cannabinoids. This is 5% above the recommended dose, and this is the recommended dose. So we can see that they are giving us 100% inhibition. And the 2 isolates which were found to be much virulent were these 2. And this is the graph on what happened when we waited for 8 days before applying our fungicide concentration on the isolates. So as we saw, the interaction of the time and then the concentration by the isolate was not significant. And the School's Gazette's law was also violated, as most of the concentrations were stimulating growth. So we conclude that the 5% above the recommended dose of the cannabinoids is effective, and that we shall recommend to farmers. The mancozeb was also found to have a very high fangistatic effect, and ADEPA, as I said, was stimulating the growth and causing a hepatic dose response, as has been done by our dear brother. This so activity 2 is on. So we developed layouts and then analysis, data analysis in the year 2020, which is under review. We also evaluate about 14 research proposals before submitting, and we do more collaboration on design and preparation of manuscripts. And we also wrote 2 proposals to seek for funds, and we do a lot of training for staff of all sorts, including students. And the challenge we face is that most of the times people bring in their data to us during the analysis stage. And as our brother R. Fisher, the one who gave us the AMIBA that we are using, stated that if you involve a statistician at the end of your study, he will do a postmortem and tell you of what the experiment died of. In that case, it will be late. So it is better you seek a statistician earlier, so that will give you those advice, even at the concept preparation and then the proposal stage. so that we can have a very good report. And if we wait and we come later, maybe we choose to do it on our own, it leads to sometimes unreplicable results, as some of the assumptions are violated and the process is some way. So this year we sought to collaborate more on scientists on developing concepts and proposals, and also, as usual, be with you at the very stage of the experiment in helping to design your experiments and also help you to analyze your data so that you can follow the approved pattern. And also, we shall also continue to train staff and service personnel. And here are some publications. We have 3 publications in 2020, and 1 is under review, and 1 submitted. Courtesy and thanks to my collaborators. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eji. You were within time. The next presenter is our IT man, Mr. Amo. You have 10 minutes.
My name is David Kwamo. I'm presenting on the IT unit. These are our team, and we have hired a new staff, that is August Mofosu, to be in charge of the software, and we also have a national service personnel from Pluta. These are the activities for 2020. Now, repairs and maintenance works, we did a lot of repairs and maintenance works on desktops, computers, laptops, and printers, belonging to the staff and individuals. And also, we also fix problems and also provide technical support for staff. And also, we assist the seminars and workshops, and then also give technical advice based on the buying of computer and its peripherals. Now, on the network, we carry out these following activities: liaising with the ISP to provide an internet service, configure internet for clients, and also maintain the institute local area network and wireless area. Now, internet and network loop connectivity, that is, the 4 institute have been connected to one network. Clocking, the unit maintains the clocking system, and it was stopped due to the COVID-19 last year. Now, on the institute website, the committee actually helped us in managing the website effectively, and all updates have been done frequently. Institute electricity. Now, the solar system, we actually read the report online for the farm office to do their calculations. Now, activities for 2021. On social media, with the support of the scientific secretary, the social media has been very active. This is the Facebook page, and then this is for the YouTube channel that the institute have. The internet, on the internet to management of the internet bandwidth is still ongoing by using the hotspots, that's the Winbox. Now, the 4 institutes in Kumasi here, we have come together to procure a bulk bandwidth, that is 155.5 Mbps for the 4 institutes, in which Crop Research we are getting 60 meg. Now, we have also created a loop, the connectivity, to connect all the 4 institutes to be on one network, that is a wide area network. On our marks, this year, in fact, the marks has been for a long time receiving maintenance. So this year, we hope to carry out maintenance for our marks, so if anything happens. On IT support help desk, we will still continue to repair and maintain the computers and the printers for the staff and then individuals, and also provide technical support for staff, assist seminars and workshops, and also provide technical advice as to buying of computers and network peripherals. We have also created a platform in which you can submit your grievances. This is the platform in which we are going to roll, and this is the link that is to the platform, whereby if you have any problem, you can send your problems through that. Clocking system will continue to do that if COVID-19 is, we actually fight for it and then it's being resumed. Now on the repository, like the institute repository, we will continue to collaborate with the library so that it will be managed well. Now on the IP phones and water stations, the unit is facing a lot of challenges with these installation systems and the configurations. Efforts are being made. We have made a lot of consultancy and then contacts to resolve these problems soon. Now, on the land digitalization system, it has been well improved. Now, digitalization land project has also successfully been upgraded with new features, which include improving navigation systems that we have done, and then fixed or 50 by 50 quadrants grading system also has been done, and then a specific simplified for dashboard for the digging systems. Now, on the quarterly report for scientific secretary, we actually design and then deploy this software by our new staff, that is Austin, and this is the link for the report portal. Now, we will also do training on these Web 2 features, that is Skype, Google Docs, Zoom, and then other social media platforms. Now, the Institute website, on the 266 DNC meeting held in Kumasi here, it was agreed that all local websites should be migrated to the corporate one. And this is the current one that we have, but we have designed a new interface for the new website in which we are going to migrate to. And this is going to be our new domain, that is CSIR.org.gh. This is going to be our new domain. Corporation.org is going to fade out. So any formal communication should be channeled through this domain. Now, the TV, the CRI TV, we have also developed an app in which you can use to watch the CRI TV, and then also programs that is include the documentary and the rest will be done over there. Now, on our visibility, when we talk of visibility, the IT units, we have done marvelous work that is to increase our visibility through the social media platform that we have. As of December 2020, we've had about 21,865 unique visitors. That is a great achievement that we have actually done. Now, this year too, one of our activities that we want to embark on is to digitalize the impress and the claims forms for staff, and then you can also track your impress or request on anywhere that you are. Then a staff portal will be also created. These activities will also create for HR forms, all the HR forms that we have to actually reduce our paper to improve our paperless system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've also worked within time. The next presenter is Mrs. Achampong. Mrs. Donko Achampong, you have 10 minutes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Laurentia Donko Achampong, Senior Librarian at the Institute and the Head of Library. For this year, I will present on the research activities that I undertook, and then Ms. Esther Jobo will present on the library activities. This is going to be the presentation outline. The first research that I undertook last year was the role of an e-agriculture program in agricultural information dissemination to agricultural stakeholders in Ghana. And this is my team. As background, agriculture stakeholders are confronted with certain constraints on how to access information sources. Irrelevant information, delay on information delivery, and extension workers' personality, timeliness, and lack of feedback mechanism. Also, farmer to extension officer ratio is rated at 1:1,300 in Ghana. So Ghana e-agriculture program was established in 2015 by WAP. The aim was to modernize agricultural production in Ghana and share information, knowledge, and technologies in agricultural enterprise. The Ghana e-agriculture program runs on 5 components, and this is marked in red. So the purpose was to assess the role that this e-agriculture program plays in dissemination of information to agricultural stakeholders. And the specific objective was to examine the perception of agricultural stakeholders on the information that e-agriculture provides for them, and also to assess the information needs of the stakeholders and the type of information that the e-agriculture information provides for them, and to measure the level of access to the e-agriculture program, and also examine the level of utilization and analyze the constraints that they face whilst assessing this program, and also on the part of the undertakers, the constraints that they face. The methodology used was the research design. We used the case study, and then we used questionnaire and interview. That's the mixed method approach. Our target population was agricultural stakeholders who have assessed the 2019 the program in 2019. And we used 3-stage sampling method techniques to select 147 respondents. Out of the 147 questionnaires were distributed to the respondents, and then 133 were received, constituting 88.6% response rate. And then we use PSSS as data to analyze the data. By way of discussion, we realized that all the respondents were aware of the e-agriculture program. This is so because most of them, we use those who have used it before. Because during the time we were taking the data, the COVID-19 was in its full potential. So we didn't want to actually overwhelm ourselves with the people. So we used those that have used it. And they have 3 centers. The e-agriculture has 3 centers in Ghana. We have one in Accra, one in Kumasi, and one at Tamale. So we use those centers to coordinate to get our data from the respondents. And then the majority of the respondents received the awareness from the AEAs. The component that was most used was the call center. And the information received from the program was, according to the respondents, was very useful. However, the respondents ways that are listed are included in the program. Improvement of the interface. They realize that the interface sometimes becomes very difficult, so they need to improve it to make it simple. And the content they should add graphics and animation. And then more of the local languages, because we know that if as farmers, they would like to receive the information in their own language. And then information on inputs. For the type of information disseminated, we realized that the information needs of the stakeholders were in varied range. And the most ones that were met by the e-resource, e-agriculture, were the crop and animal production information, agriculture development programs, and new seed. The information disseminated according to them were relevant and in very good quality. Meanwhile, agriculture stakeholders had received some benefits after using the e-agriculture program. This includes they have acquired new knowledge and improved agricultural technologies, reduction of stress on AEs because of traveling up and down to meet the farmers to give them information. And it has enhanced the information and extension services, access to accurate and reliable information, and it was also cost effective, and networking with other agricultural stakeholders was one of them. For the level of access, the access was easy for them. And then the usage, about 73% said they used the information they received. But for those 27 who were not using the information, these were their concern. As I said, they wanted the content to be in their own language so that they can easily assimilate and then use. Some of the constraints to the effective dissemination, we categorize them into technological, educational, and costs. And for the respondents, the three of them, the technological, educational, and the cost constraints are there. But on the part of the MOFA, they also have funding problem. They have unstable electricity and then electricity supply and the low bandwidth, which is making the lines break when people need to. Other activities that took apart from the library activities include being a secretary to the agriculture, food and agriculture, agriculture and food science journal of Ghana, and then interim management committee of the credit union. I was the secretary, and then treasurer and acting secretary to the Southern Zone. For the food and agriculture and food science journal of Ghana, last year we received a total of 30 manuscripts from authors. We had 14 of them published, and then 4 of them rejected. This edition was actually sponsored by the Kafasi Post Harvest Project, and the electronic copy will be available online very soon. We have 20 manuscripts at the moment, and then they are on the various stages. Proposed research activity for this year the title is Open Access Scholarly Publishing Research Scientist Experience. These are my team. As a way of background, open access publication is clearly a communication which is freely available on the internet. You can access it without financial or legal or technical barriers. The problem is that despite the benefits of open access publication that the open access publication provides, there are still some significant reservations about quality and preservation, which has left many authors unconvinced. And I know most of you are still not convinced. This is why we are carrying out this study to have the experience of the research scientists in CSIR on publishing in open access. So the main objective, the specific objective is to find out the perception of research scientists on open access. I said the economic and social impact of publishing in open access journal, determine the perceived benefits, if any, on publishing in open access journal, and also analyze the constraints that they face whilst publishing. So by the way of methodology, it will be online questionnaire will be used, and we will use our population will be 470 research scientists across the nation, the 30 institutes. We use purposes in it. These are the seminars that are attended, and these are my publications. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Dompa Champo. Our next presenter is Miss Esther Dumont. Esther, you have 10 minutes.
My name is Esther Dumont. I'm presenting from the library, both from CSIR and others. Presentation outline. These are the team. Introduction. CSIR Research Institute Library is one of the agricultural scientific research libraries in Ghana. Objectives. The library supports research programs of the institutes, that is management and dissemination of information in agricultural and rural development, food and industrial crops for all the actors in agricultural sector, capacity building of staff and other users. Library services. Apart from the normal library activities, the library also offers the following service at both from CSIR and CSIR. So that is selective dissemination of information to staff and other user community. Electronic, print lecture search for users. Training of patrons on the use of electronic resource and library usage. Photocopy services, scanning, printing, typesetting, and other secretarial services. Combining, for the combining, it is not done at Kwadaso because you don't have the machine. Library users. 353 users access library material. Newspaper clipping. 121 media released in print media were publicized. Material acquisition. Staff thesis 20, annual report 20, newsletter 1, manual 10, fact sheets 27, magazine 20, journal 14, books 21, totaling 133. Deposit and donation of scientific publications. Journal article 35, edited conference paper 1, edited reports 14, manual 1, newspaper article 1, other reports 7. There were no conference abstracts. Fact sheets and production guide 5. Book chapter 2. Unedited research reports 1, totaling 67. CSIR digital institutional repository. There were uploads on the site. CSIR digital institutional repository, published journal article 432, conference paper 13, annual report 6, technical report 11, book chapter 1. Publications in print format were scanned and uploaded. Design of the interface is ongoing. MAC Project has approved a proposal for the purchase of equipment and hosting of the repository on cloud. Electronic resource. The library has subscribed to Research for Life programs, and these are the sites: Agora, Hinary, and others. The Essential Electronic Agricultural Library, that is the TIL. Food Test and Researchable Database of Article. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation provided 450 high-quality research journals in agriculture and related science and research reports. It is an offline database, and the IP address is 172.16.8.100. A new till machine has been acquired. That is 1993 to 2017. Training workshop, short courses. There were user orientation for fresh graduate students of CSIR College of Science and Technology. One-on-one training in assessing electronic resource. 2 library staff attended 2 weeks conference in institutional repository management. That is from 17th to 28th February 2020. Commercialization. Former-SAR generated 3,450.10 pesos. Padaso generated 3,595 Ghana cedis. This year, Padaso did well than Former-SAR. Sales of old newspapers. We sold some of our old newspapers, and we got 600 Ghana cedis from there, totaling 7,645.10 pesos. Proposed activities for 2021. Upload electronic copies of publication available to the library. Scan publication in print formats for uploading. Staff theses will be scanned and uploaded. Those available in electronic formats will be uploaded. Redesigning of the interface of the repository is ongoing. Compile abstracts of 2018, 2019, 2020 publication. Training of staff in electronic resource management. Seminar on improving your online visibility as scientists. Posting news-related items of CRI on the CRI website. Acquiring library management software to launch library books titled online for easy accessibility. Challenges. Shortage of staff. Some scientists' refusal to provide the library with their publication. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. We have 2 more presentations from the commercialization unit. I hope they are around. Yeah. Please make sure that you upload your slides before we start your session. So, Mr. Samuel Azu, you are the next person to present. Oh, okay. Clap for him as he. So, Azu, you have 15 minutes as the head of the department.
Good morning. Good morning, Dr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. I'm Samuel Azu, and I'm presenting on the activities that we carried out last year, that's 2020, and what we will be this year. So, by way of outline, we're looking at the overview of the division. We look at highlights of 2020 activities and what success story that we had, as well as planned activities for 2021. overview of the division. We try to look at an integrated approach to commercialization activities, where we're looking at a sustained commercial production. What we are doing is that in the previous years, concentration has been on the production of seedlings. Now we want to focus more on other commodities in the seed sector. We also want to encourage the partnership and collaboration with private sector and even with some of our sister institutes because of the challenge of mandates. Also, as well, liaise with scientists to identify marketable technologies so that we can promote them, and also address long-term, sustainable, and profitability issues. This is the staff strength of the division: 2 senior members, 6 senior staff, 4 junior staff. We have 2 NACO trainees, assistant nurses, and 5 national service personnel. Core activities of the division include business planning and strategic development, sales and marketing, business planning and development, production, and monitoring and supervision issues. I must emphasize that for this presentation, I'll present on most of the key issues that Mark Anti of the division will handle the activities of market. Highlights of 2020 activities. In these 5 articles, we have the business planning. We are trying to discuss the business environment, look at opportunities that are in there, as well as assess the internal resources and capabilities so that we can see how we can tap on these potentials, and also have to look at the competitive environment and see what we can do to outperform them. So the output or the results is that we have some base data that we will build on to come out with a 5-year strategic plan as the activity for part of the activities for this year. As I said, sales and marketing are not able to know on that. But for the business development aspect, the focus for last year, we expanded to look at how we can respond to calls for expression of interest for consultancy and other services. In fact, we were able to sign 1 supplier agreement, which is continuing this year, and another MOU. The activity will actually start this year with some collaboration with scientists. Then we also submitted 3 expressions of interest. Unfortunately, we were not able to get the contract. I'll explain one of them when I come to the challenges. Then production, we initiated the production of a number of seedlings last year. We crafted 10,000 mango seedlings. We also did raise a restock of 20,000 seedlings which will be crafted this year. We did avocado, coconut, citrus. But we also noticed that over the years, the citrus orchards and other orchards have some problems. So together with my team, we consulted a number of scientists and with the horticulture team, especially in Kaminta, and the farm management in Tawanzan, we have initiated a spray and pruning exercise. You notice that over the years, there's been the application of weedicides. So, creating a problem of erosion and others. We have stopped that since 2019, we continued last year, and we continue to slash so that we were able to maintain the shell compatibility. We also did some monitoring and activities of staff. We participated in some visits of students and other stakeholders when they come to the history. And these are some of the pictures there. There's a success story for the entire institute. Last year, the head office had an award scheme. 3 institutes were awarded. we had Sister Institute, OPIR, then the Building and Research Institute, and ourselves. So the deputy director represented the director and then received that award for the institute. That was the grants award. Some few challenges. As we are aware, COVID-19 had a number of issues with that. We were not able to contact people during the seminars and exhibitions that we generate a lot of leads that we can follow up, but we use a number of leads in time, especially when it comes to production. We had to run the systems. Even when the lockdown, some few staff had to run the systems to be able to maintain our networks. Insufficient funding for upscaling of commercializing activities continue to be an issue. And so they focus on the recommended intervention that want to look at how we can partner private sectors institutions to be able to get funding for that. Then the dwindling number of technical and production staff, which as the result limits our ability to produce reliable quantities. So most often we rely on casual labor, and sometimes we outsource some of the routine activities to outsiders under the close provision. Mandate issues as far as commercialization is concerned is becoming entrenched, let me put it that way, because we notice that when customers come and want to go straight with the mandate, there are certain commodities or services that we may not be able to provide. Though we also made contacts, we've been making contacts with our sister institutes, but we felt that we should build consensus around this at the broader level so that partnership and other collaborations can be done. In fact, there should be a framework that we can have clear understanding as to the modalities that can help us do about it. One major issue is limited chances of successfully bidding for contracts because of public procurement authority and other issues. In fact, the three expressions of interest that we submitted, from my hand side, we felt that because we are not having these documents, which limit us, we are not able to get it. And we are proposing that we'll see how we can work around to have a company subsidiary so that we can use that subsidiary to bid for subsequent contracts. We now go to 2022 and 2021 activities. Planning and strategic development will continue. Thank God, the Director hinted the first day that the plan for the institute is being worked on and is being aligned to the head office. We want to, based on that, to come up with a 5-year strategic plan so that every year we focus on what we have earmarked to do. And so part of the planning will be that we do annual plans of marketing, business development, and try to also review our activities in the last quarter of the year. Production. We want to raise 25,000 root stock of mango seedlings and then grant the 20,000 that we produced last year, and we also continue with the other communities that we, as part of the diversification, we are working with the maize team for now to cultivate maize seeds of 5 acres. We want to collaborate with them. We've put up some few details and we will be working together. Last year we had a 3-acre land that we intended to do vegetables, but because of irrigation problems, we could not do that. This year we plan to go on. Fortunately, we are able to acquire an additional pumping machine. So even if you have challenges we try to use, we can use that machine to be able to produce vegetables throughout the year, especially in the dry season, so that we can generate income. For the sales and marketing activities, as I said, Mark will handle that. We also continue to develop MOUs and an agreement with the partners and especially the private sector, so that we can be able to get funding to upscale our commercialization activities. I also want to look at the possibility of having an agribusiness incubation center. The prospects are there to look at it based on, but we want to be sure exactly how the form it will take and the funding needs, as well as the other related matters. And so we have to do that feasibility statement and also see how we can work around to form a subsidiary company. We will also continue to seek for partners and also respond to call for proposals for contracts and other things. I will continue with our monitoring activities, and I hope that by the end of the year we will be able to check some success. I want to acknowledge the Federal Executive Director and all scientists that have helped us in one way or another. In fact, if I were to mention names, the time would not have permitted us. All of you, we continue to work this year to see how we can improve on commercialization activities. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okay, Mr. Makanti, you are the next presenter. You have 10 minutes.
Good morning, everybody. Makanti is my name, and I'm going to present to you this morning some of the marketing activities that took place in 2020 and my current plans for 2021. And this will be my order of presentation. That work done in 2020, targets or work plan for 2021. Work done in 2020. We have planting for export and rural development, PED. I'm sure some of us here may, for the first time, heard of this PED. And I want to at least take 2 or 3 minutes to give the background of this PED program. In fact, I've played a key role to secure PED contract for CSIR and civil supply to the PED program. Key activities undertaken were a follow-up visit to the Honorable Deputy Minister, who happens to be the offensive North MP, Mr. Collins at Hello FM, and that is where I got the contact. And I also facilitate the Institute participation in the stakeholder discussion on the PED program at Unicorn Hotel in Kumasi. And these are the team. And also 3 visits by the Honorable Deputy Minister to the Institute were also done. And the team, as we can see, is also here. Several follow-ups on the PED program, virtually using my personal resources, including weekends and public holidays, were also undertaken. I arranged a business opportunity visit to the Honorable Deputy Minister at his residence. And over here, our director and myself were also there. And I also participated in the technical meeting at the La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, and our deputy director, myself and Mr. Minta are the team who went, and I also participated in the technical advisory committee at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture Office, Accra. And also we have this team who attended. And in fact, it goes on and on. And for want of time, I want to skip and go into work done in 2020, continue as participation in agri input and machinery fair organized by UTV. And in fact, I want to say, I'm sorry, our PRO, I cannot see him here. And it escaped me. I have to acknowledge that. And we have Mr. Solomon Jesse Wache, the regional minister, and then one of the organizers. I also participated in a great conference by ADAGRA. ADAGRA is Adventist Agriculture Association, and it was held at the Chimay Valley View campus. We also attend that conference. And we also have a radio talk show in 2020. Myself, my HOD, and Mr. Samuel also featured. Work done in 2020 as part of our activities. We also made some significant sales in 2020, and the breakdown is as follows. Internal, we have 41,195, and then external, 97,580, making it total sales of 138,725 Ghana cedis. And these were the seedlings we sold. And we have one request for expression of interest, which I'm lobbying through the regional agric director. And the team is Obuasi Goes Agri. And the purpose is Obuasi and its environs want to reclaimate all the depleted lands with tree crops. So I'm thinking that crop research, we can lobby and then get something out of it. And you can also talk of marketing without having your target markets. And some of them are governmental agencies. We have district and municipal MOFA offices under the paid program, NGOs, mango and citrus processing companies, emerging tree crops plantation farmers, individuals and other institutes intending to invest in tree crops. And this will be my strategies. Continually relate with the district and municipal MOFA offices, direct marketing, word of mouth, advert and recommendation, and then social media as well. Target or work plan for 2021. I will scout for business opportunities for CRI products and technologies. Also run at least 3 radio adverts in 2021 for CRI products. I also follow up on the lead generated from 2020 radio adverts, and we also attend some Mango Week celebration. I also follow the lead generated out of it, follow up on Obuasi Goes Agro program, work on Kriapa Cocoa CRI contract for supply of seedlings. And I must say, just 3 days ago, I'm almost done with it. And in no time, money will be paid into the institute account. I also take part in fairs and exhibition days to showcase CRI products and services. And this will be my operating assumptions. I'm expecting that we'll get the continuous support from management. Staff will actively participate in commercialization program, and then cooperation, commitment, and teamwork from all staff. As we all know, last year we had COVID-19, and this has hindered our monitoring and evaluation activity, and then it also draw us back in generating more sales leads due to the pandemic. And my conclusion would be that vigorous marketing will be undertaken to win more clients. Commitment from all staff is needed to achieve planned activities and targets. And I cannot be quiet without acknowledging the director for giving us the car into the institute. And I must say, my secret of generating that 97,530 has been on this very car. And then the VDU staff from Paraso and Fumesa, horticulture also, we have Mr. Pominta and BM, and all staff who contributed to the success of the division. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, can we have all the presenters here? House, we have about 40 minutes to interact with our presenters. So,
hello, this is CRI TV Beyond the Research, and this is the maiden edition of Women of Science. I have here a noble woman who is going to be our guest for this maiden edition. Here in Ghana, mention GMO and her name follows. Mention biotechnology and then you see her name again. And she is the Deputy Director of CSIR Crops Research.
Should I say senior members? Yes, our wise men. And then afterwards, all of us will ask our questions. And when we start, we'll start from here, then we come to the middle row and the last one. So, Prof.
Thank you very much. I must commend all the presenters. And these are not core scientists, but I was really impressed with your slides and the pictures. So please, let's clap for them. The HOD, Mr. Boachi, when you said your major challenge is about publication, what are you going to do as head of department to encourage? Because now, I mean, if you want to progress without publication, there's no way. And I was very excited when I saw the librarian now shifting and presenting scientific. That is the way it should go now. Even in marketing, you need to come out with something to publish. There's an administrative officer at PGRI. That guy has a number of publications. So, Mr. Jeffy, what are you going to do to encourage your staff to publish? Number two, Mr. Elvis J. Obey, what is the active ingredient in Adepa? And then you said scientists are not patronizing your unit. As a man in charge, what are you going to do to encourage scientists to? And unfortunately, you were not here during the week because the director alluded to that fact. So maybe you need to be proactive. David, what are the advantages and disadvantages of connecting these four institutes to one listing? Laurentia, he said you're going to improve the interface. How are you going to do it with this e-learning? And then you said cost. I was thinking that the e-learning was minimizing cost. But again, you said one of the constraints for the users was cost. So I want you to explain. Esther, I was really impressed with your presentation. What steps will you take to encourage scientists to submit their abstracts? Because CSIR now, assesses institutions based on publication. So we need to maybe be proactive and somehow aggressive. Commercialization. At least now, I was impressed with the team. They are now being proactive. And that is the way to go, particularly in the call for expression of interest. You need to lobby. They just put the applicant there, know the person they're going to give. So I want to encourage you to be lobbying. If you know the municipal chief executive, go and lobby them. Then, because, as I said, that one said, just to fulfill all righteousness. They have advertised, they have satisfied the procurement agency condition. But I want to encourage, and not only them, all the same, you know, a minister or any of these government, agencies, just go and talk to them, and then come and discuss with the director. I think I'm done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope you are noting down your questions.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mrs. Untitled Chapter, I mean the e-agric concept. Who are some of your main stakeholders at the e-agriculture? And what are some of the tools? You are using for the e-agriculture? And I also wish to commend you highly for the work you are doing for the Institute Journal. You are really doing so well and keeping the journal alive. Thank you so much. Esther, you said about 353 users assessed the library. It's over what duration? It's over what period? 353 people. Over what period? And I think I will need to commend you for the amount you were able to raise. I mean, if you compare what you raised with that from yourself, I think you've done so well. And maybe to all of us, normally when we are pronouncing, let's say, figures, 200, after the decimal, we don't pronounce the listing together. I mean, if it is 10, it is 200.10. If it is 15, 200, we don't say 200.15, 200.15. Anything that comes after the decimal, the digits are mentioned separately, individually. Mr. Azuk, we have some of our sister institutions, an institution like Food Research Institute, that they've been involved in product development using some of our materials. How do we collaborate with this institute? Or how do we actually benefit? So it's not like they just get our materials and do the products, then they get the money and we don't benefit from them. And I also realized that you mentioned some strategic plan. And you're going to develop some 5-year strategic plan. I don't know whether if I got it right. If that's the case, this one should be in sync with the institute and the corporate CSIR. So try to make sure that that is there. Thank you very much, Chair.
Yes, Dr. Singh is please give it to Dr. Singh. And then it will come.
HOD, in your capacity as the PRO, what plans do you have to enhance the visibility of the institute? Scientific Secretary, how do you intend to solve this problem of low attendance after snack and lunch breaks? Mr. Ndebila, I was going to be interested in the investment you made the previous year as against the generation of funds. But definitely you will tell me COVID-19. Now, you want to depart from the old order of supplying only seedlings. What are some of the new commodities which you expect from your outreach? Thank you.
So now to the deputy director. Before the director and then on us.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Actually, Mr. Jesse, how do you track feedback? I was expecting to see perhaps number of people who visited, reactions and all that, but there was nothing. Just said we've what do you how do you get feedback back to the scientists so that they improve and even if you do it by word of mouth, these things should be documented so that it will go on record. Linda, for your presentation, what do we stand to gain? Always hosting these children. You said our visibility is increased. What the evidence of the increased visibility? I was also expecting to see some graphs and other things from you, but it was just pictures, and I don't know how that will benefit us. The scientific secretary, you had small font size, so I wasn't expecting that from you. Elvis, this educates me from your presentation. What separates you and bionutrition from a pathologist or an agronomist? I was expecting to see steps that we are taking to test different models to advise scientists on their research project proposal designs and project design. But with this at this stage, how are you going to progress as a bionutrition? David, what advice do you have for management? You talked of a repository, but in this institute, like everybody has his own laptop. People go away and they go with all the information. So, what advice do you have for management so that the institute will not lose out on information? And also, can you get the secure Microsoft Teams for the institute so that we use it for our online meetings? Actually, a very informative presentation, and we expect to see more of those. Esther, you are talking of scanning PVs of staff. Please, first consult with them. If they have soft copies, they give those to you before you go ahead and I was wondering if you can create an interface to the library so that if I want to come there and print something, I'll send it to you before I get there. And okay, if you are doing that, so that I don't take Mr. Zook. I am not impressed. I think it's like we are still going round the same thing. I don't know what to. I didn't get a punch from all that you said, so I don't know. But what is BRI doing differently? That they came out, they got the gold medal, and we got the bronze. So it's to the two of you. You are talking of an incubation center. I mean, we need more pragmatic steps because I think, you've come too far. So I'm just not impressed. And I don't know. I hope you sat through all the presentations. And have you identified any other products or technologies you think we can commercialize? As you go around, do you have flyers of the institute to give out? Because you are marketing now, you are marketing us. What about us? Do you really market us? Will not be around. It's to the two of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Director.
I think most of the concerns are jotted down have been taken care of by earlier personers or commentators, but I will fill in with few questions. First of all, head of division, some time ago we had media engagement with Mercury FM. We tried and then we structured a program in such a way that all divisions would go there and make some presentation. Why have we curtailed it? And then, Scientific Secretary, you are trying to introduce a new format for reporting quarterly reports. I want to suggest that you give a seminar so that scientists can use the software very well. And then, Mr. Amo, your first statement, I heard you saying you have hired somebody to help you. Can you do that? Management has recruited somebody for you. You have not hired. And then I also want to find out from you why sales of orange juice from your outfit ceased. We used to patronize it very well, but somewhere along the line it fizzled out. Why? And then I want you to tell me how you were dealing with conflict of interest from your outfit. We know some of your people are competing with the institute on the sales of seedlings and other things. How are we dealing with that? Laurentia, I want to know when our next journal is coming out and what are the challenges we are facing for the production of these journals. Thank you very much. I think we've done very well.
Thank you. Now, we'll take 2 questions of this link. 2 from here and 2 because of time. Please, bear with me. So, here. Any questions from here? If you don't ask your 2 questions, I will give them the next step, the middle room, because I see a lot of answers. Do you have questions? No. So that you have the 4 questions. So from BM. So please let BM finish then you come. I didn't see your hand.
Thank you, but you're not fair. He was holding the mic so you should have gone ahead. Yeah, this one is general. My first issue is the use of the web unit session. From Monday to today, we've been interchanging this voice session units. I want us to go to the condition of service and see how these things are defined by CSIR. The definition says that center means an entity having at least 6 senior members, which is.
If I may interrupt you, since I think because of time, can you come up? Because the administrative officer, I think he is going to do that. I've just been told.
our presentation is creating confusion. Thank you. Then let's go on. Scientific secretary. Your presentation on attendance of seminars and reduction in numbers of coffee breaks. I was expecting that you show the classification of those who attend. Because my observation is that when we go for seminars and in-house reviews like this, everybody comes. And just everybody does all levels of staff members come. Then after taking the snack, they all leave. That is my observation over the years. Madame Laurentia, if I look at your title, you've done a good study, but the title carries agriculture 3 times in the title alone. So the title becomes too verbose and confusing. So I think you can modify it. Mr. Azuk, even before that, IT, Mr. Amu. Okay, David. Now, the position of our salary as against the cost that the institute will be incurring till the kingdom come. I keep arguing this every year that when we are on our salary will cost the institute more than anything because a server room has been airing. The year is against we have engrossed the server room, and because of that, the air conditioner cannot suffice. If that place should be used as a server room, then we need air conditioners that are used at the work and go refrigerating systems. Because these 2.5 horsepower air conditioners cannot work 24/7. So they break down. The best thing for us now is to relocate that server room back to the ground floor so that we can create big space and the heat generated there will come down. So please, then you keep frustrating me with this weather station because I donated the weather station to the institute. Every little thing you come to me. If I build a hospital for you, I shouldn't maintain the hospital. I'm sorry. Mr. Azuk, I don't think you can continue strategic plan development for the 2 years. 5-year strategic plan for the 2 years. You have done it last year. You are going to continue the strategic plan this year. And when are you going to start implementing? Then you talk nicely about strategies, but I see them all as ideal and theoretical things. There is no practicality in what you have presented. Secondly, if you recall, Casa Daropa was here and they were talking of only sweet potato that they are processing, every aspect of it. I was expecting that you present a business plan today on how we can just use sweet potato as a case study to generate revenue, IGF for crop research for the next 2 years. Even if we neglect or we minimize plant material production and go into sweet potato production for Casa Daropa alone, their factory is so huge. They are using the outpatients. There was nothing in your presentation on outpatient usage or involving them in your commercialization phase. I think we need to go back and look at that. And I was also thinking that you use aeroponics in leafy vegetable production for sale. And you can get with the aquatics people and look at how we can use this to generate continuous revenue. So, Mr. Azu, go back to your strategic plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Doc.
Thank you, Chair. This is to, I mean, it's just a recommendation to Saluk and Auntie. If we could get SIP we have got more than 5 friends asking me if we have avocado seedlings for sale here in the city. So if you don't have it, please, we should be thinking about that. Thank you.
No, please can you be specific with the siblings? Which one? Which avocado.
Yeah.
All right. Who else? Dr.
Thank you for good presentations. My question goes to Mr. Azu. Okay. I want to know the steps you are taking to link up with the labs, so that if somebody comes with a request or anything to do something at the lab, how are you going to streamline your activities such that the amount that you paid is paid to the commercialization unit of the institute instead of the money coming directly to the lab, so that the lab people will not get time to do the work. And when it comes to the handling of money in those things, the commercialization people will be in charge. Thank you.
I think I have exhausted the questions here. So we are now here. Administrator, to come to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My first one goes to Esther. Esther, you talked about materials and the chain. The various library materials you received. But I'm wondering whether you could disseminate that information very well to scientists, because when I open my email, I expect to, from time to time, I expect to find that you are informing us of the things that you have received so that people can come over and look at them. Another one to David. David, group email address. I've talked to you about this issue. Sometimes those of us who are in administration, we need to send information to so many people at a time. We have a need for this group email. For example, INC, you only type INC something, and it goes to all members rather than selecting all INC individuals. This thing needs to be done as well as all other groups. McCarthy, you talked about sales that you paid so much, but you didn't relate to the cost that you incurred. As a business person, you need to have some idea about the cost. Then, Laurentia, you also, your unit, your library section at least needs some technicians. Sorry, see the librarian? Okay, I'm saying that the library needs some trained technicians, because that's it's more of administration. So I want you to see your plan, going forward on this, training someone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Danso. Please give it to Dr. Danso.
Thank you. My question goes to Esther Padaso Library. You mentioned that you don't do combining services at Padaso. Why? Is it because of lack of market, or the cost of the setup. Because I'm aware that the combined finance setup is not that expensive. Why?
Dr. Jose.
Thank you very much. My question goes to Head of Commercializing, Mr. Azor. You talked about doing a feasibility study on business incubation. I think you have to really look at that because that has been well established. And business incubation is one of the best approaches. And that was the basis for establishing the APTC. We developed models and all that. What is left is operationalization because we like funding. So we can work together and see. So for each feasibility, it's well established and documented. Now, my second question goes to you again. Aside planting material, what are your plans in commercializing our labs and some of the innovations from our engineers? Yesterday, Engineer Shabak mentioned a lot of innovations. What are we doing about it? We go to seed. They have a lot of seed technology that we can push out, food science and those things. What are we doing? And do you think our current commercialization model, is it feasible? If not, what model will you propose? And to my friend Mark, do you have plans to partner CRI TV in your marketing activities? And if yes, how are you going to secure the funding for such activities? Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I think since I'm the chair, I have the last lap. I'll start with the commercialization. Is it a unit or session? The two of you. I expected to see smart strategy. And when I say smart strategy, I wanted to see something like targets for 2021. 2021, we are targeting this amount of money. And then I expected to see how much you people were going to spend, the investment that you will put in that target, that activity to reach that target. And I also I was expecting to see your expected estimated income in 2021. I didn't see any of the things that I have mentioned in your presentation. So as marketing officers, are you going to sit down and then watch that people or customers come to you? So these are some questions that I have in my head that I want you people to answer because I didn't see smart presentation from any of you. This is no question. There is this ranking going on about African journals. I checked, and our journal didn't have a good place. So I don't know whether you have seen the ranking and what went into it. I have to forward it to you. So what are we going to do to bring up the journal, because it's a good journal and it has to really be part of the A class. We are in the D class now. D, yes, I checked it. So I'll forward that to the ranking team. It came out present. Linda, you know that your promotion is based on publications. And from the works that you are carrying out, do you think you can publish? Do you think you can collect data based on the activities that you have been carrying out? I don't want to talk much, but you know where I'm coming from and my concern for your publication. I didn't see any publication and I was a bit disappointed. So later, what are you going to do to come up with some publications? And I think I am done now. So you can answer your question. Starting from Mr. Azu. Please, your question, start answering your questions, and then we will do that.
Thank you very much, Dr. J. First, on the publication, I think compliance. It's well noticed, because if you look at some of the activities that we do as marketers, we also want to collect data about customers and that. And with our partnership with, or collaboration with other scientists, I think we'll be able to do that going forward. Yes, the lobbying aspect is a commendation. I will continue to do that with other government agencies. In fact, when we are able to lobby and get one, for instance, last year, most of the sales that we made, just from one paper, if you track it as a percentage, is the highest. And this year we getting 91,000. So if you get 10 of that, I think we'll be moving in a very positive way. For today, on collaboration with food, other institutes, especially food research. Yes, it's ongoing. Last year, we met at head office as marketers and commercialization staff. And so that aspect was emphasized. You notice that when I said we had an agreement with one customer to support, that person is doing cassava and others. So it is from the collaboration that we started linking up with ourselves that we got that company. They are happy with the food processing aspect. Yes, let me just link that with the land deeds. Yes, I'm aware it was part of the source of the written meeting that due to certification and mandate issues, it stopped somewhere along the line. We noticed that when I think Faustina was presenting, I noticed that most of the things that we agree is something that can easily be adopted in the market. So I will liaise with her and we'll look at other ways by which we can collaborate with food research and then go about the certification issues and have something even on campus so that as and when investors come, they'll be able to get a taste. Or even when you are going for exhibitions. In fact, when we go for exhibitions, they have an upper hand because their products are handy, it's easily straightforward consumption that we have to work around. We talk closely with management and see how that collaboration and arrangement will go. There's for big on the 5-year strategic plan. I'll link that with BM, my mentor. You notice that the previous plan ended in 2019, and we started the process of having its own plan under the leadership of our director. And because of the head office request that our strategic plan, that is the issue plan, must fit into their one, we have to put on hold. And so now that the green light is there, we will take it from, we do a lot of consultation with the team, including yourself, and we will take it from there. This is to help us have a clear statement of the things that we begin and the inputs that are required so that we will not be, excuse my language, jumping from one thing to the other and then maybe dissipating resources. goes on the investment. Yes, the other communities that we identify as far as the diversification is concerned, we're looking at maize. In fact, generally, we are discussing with Dr. Allen, who is in charge of the PhD. We want to start with those commodities, that is maize, rice, soya bean, so that at least there's an assured market from that in terms of the seed. That is what we do. But apart from the commodities, other technologies are there, and I want to link it to Dr. Sredu's question, the labs and other things. Yes, you notice that I sat through the presentations, noting a whole lot of issues from there. We'll be coming to the respective scientists, and we strive as to how we start. Because see, looking at resource constraints, we may not be able to implement everything that is proposed. So we look at those that we can within means we can start with, and we go on from there. Then conflict of interest by director. But that has been a serious issue, and we've taken some steps with your approval. As we speak, those who were doing it, we stopped them, and as a means of preventing them from having insurance, we are producing those commodities that the institute initially were not producing in terms of the seedlings, so that they will flow. And like I said, the monitoring will be ongoing. I want to appeal to everybody that they can assist, because some of these things, yes, they are not on campus. Who may know? If they have it elsewhere, it will take a concerted effort for us to resolve it. And I think so far we have reduced it to the barest minimum. I'm tempted to say that we should have, as an institute, a discussion on this, because Council Chair came here on one of their visits, and that was a serious issue. Supposing that one contract that would have earned us a certain amount of money end up going somewhere, the institute is losing. And so, let's track them and fire them. Yes. Let me also link this to Deputy Director. Yes, I will say that, yes, she has a lot of expectation in the director, I think everybody. So let's be calm and move from there. What is building doing differently? After the award, I've checked with them. I've also tried to talk, find out from other businesses. In fact, they are not doing money. In fact, previously, if you look at our previous reports, they were far behind. But now, what is going on is that they are together with whether current or retired staff are putting their hands together, and what is fetching them is more on the consultancy, because you don't spend, apart from the regular expenditures, you don't spend so much as compared to where you have to produce, go through a long process. And so we appeal that we can perform them. So let's come together, link ourselves with other partners, and let's let the contracts come so that we can move from there. BM on Casa de Lupa. Yes, the production at the RCC. Yes, what we intend to do is, I indicated of the total number of production staff. And so if you notice the challenge aspect, we are looking at an outgoing scheme. Unfortunately, we've not been able to link up with them, but as a follow-up, we'll track a deal with them. So what we do now is this: if you produce without getting the the market, okay, it will be a problem. So Ubu is that we will follow up with, not only with them, with the school feeding issues, so that where we are not able to produce a large scale to meet because of staff constraints, we can have an outdoor stream to be able to exploit that advantage. Yes, we have avocado pen. Most of the seedlings that we used not to have, we are producing them. Let the request come and we'll be able to serve them. I think I will allow Mark to continue.
Mr. Ashik, we didn't answer my question. How are we going to track some progress? Because we didn't see anything on your presentation. The target set for 2021, the investments you are going to put in our expected income, so that the director can track you, the units. Because you put up everything. So that
Yes. Well noted. What we're going to do is that we have reviewed at the time, we don't have enough to read the details. But to provide the details to director, and we intend to have a seminar. Yes, I'll provide the details. There's a communication to that effect between us and the director. So we provide the details and we'll have a way of evaluating the commercializing activity. In fact, we intend to have a seminar in the course of the year to have a detailed review of our activities, and that I'll show you will be prominently featured.
The sense of the institute, I look at that.
Yes, it was reported on collaboration with the first for our side, it was on the certification and the issues of mandate, regulatory requirements, and the mandate issue.
There was a local on the CSIR community produced squeeze
Yes, that is what said. But when I came, I'm aware it was there. So my action has revealed that it has to stop somewhere along the line because of regulatory issues. And
look at
yes. I think we'll continue the discussion after the.
But the food, like I said,
it's okay. We'll continue the session.
Thank you very much for your comment. I strongly believe that it's a way of showcasing CRI to the donor people. So I'll see the director with regard to the funding so that he will liaise with you. SAO, you mentioned of matching the revenues against expenses. Well, next time it will be seen. Thank you. And to add up to the bronze award, I've made a lot of consultation with BRI, and the secret is that I understand head office has abolished the issue of hunting fee and everything, but they have their own internal agreement. When you bring something quickly, you are still giving your percentage. So I strongly believe that we should look at it very well. Thank you very much.
Dr. Excellency, how are we enhancing our visibility? I think that we need to put in a deliberate and a sustained effort. So far, what we have done is to rely on our traditional media and their online platforms. We've also brought in online platforms by our own institute, our website, our Facebook platforms, our YouTubes, and currently CRIT. So we need to make it a point that every activity that we do here, and mostly these are our research activities, let's make an effort to at least invite the media, including our own CRIT. And CRIT, yesterday there were issues about the CSIR Secretariat suggesting that they take over, the CSIR takes over the TV station or something like that. I would say that this is what the Institute, in its effort to get more visibility for its activities, and that is why they set up this CRIT. We have not done many years into our operation. We are at the teething stage of setting up our television station. And so, what we need to do as an institute is to build the capacity of our TV station so that we can tell our stories better, even than what the outside media people may do for us. If we hand over the TV station to the CSIR, it's the general interest of the CSIR which will override, and our intent of building our own communication system will be subsided under the CSIR interest. I also think that we need to do more of feature articles. We've been doing it, writing articles on CSIR contribution to sectors of agriculture where we are operating, and we'll be using the daily graphic to do this. I must say that activity has subsided a little bit, but we'll put in more effort. And we were doing this together with the scientists. So more collaboration is also needed so that we can get these feature articles. That one, it is what we want to tell the public that we get into it. And that is more reliable than even the media coverage. By way of radio participation in radio talk shows, I will add that one to the director's question about our media engagement with radio network and the fact that we have curtailed it. What happened was that the host of our the program had issues, and there were financial issues with the station. And so after some deliberations with the management, he decided he wasn't going to host that program again. And that ended the whole program. So they are not even featuring now. But we have other alternatives. That is City Radio, that BBC information, has set up an agricultural program. It's aired on Fridays. So the time is a bit late into the evening, that is 7 p.m. But we've agreed with the organizers that we will be part of it, of that program. So what we are going to do is to do our normal program outline involving our scientists, so that we can participate in that program. It's called Green Leaf program. It's held on every Friday. One thing we also have to do in enhancing our visibility is, if all things go well, we have to look at or go back to our open days. It was one great platform that brought all the big stakeholders in agriculture onto our campus. We had the policy makers, the farmers, extension people, students, everybody. And anytime there's this open day, you see that the whole world is brought at the doorstep of our institute. So if COVID is over and we are able to organize and assemble a lot of people and bring in the policy makers to help us.
Can I cut you? Thank you. So the discussion will go on. Now, please, to all of us, please not be one. Okay.
Deputy Director, you asked about how do we track feedback from visitors back to our scientists. I must admit that this is one area we have not done well at all. But going forward, we will put images so that we are able to track feedback, so that we can modify or even sustain what we are already doing. Thank you very much. Prof. Hans, the issue about communications will work as a team in the division and discuss all the issues and the areas where we can put our effort together and get these publications, because they are very much needed if we are to promote it in the division. I see more young people in there. So the issue of promotion is important. And then the last but not the least will be writing proposals for donors and documents. Also, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Prof. Hans, talking about the advantages and disadvantages for the four institutes coming together. I would say for the advantages, they're cost-wise. I remember previously when we were with Cloud, we were getting up to 40 meg and we were paying around 12,000. But with this one, we are getting 60 meg, in which we are paying 9,000 thereabouts. So cost-wise, I think it's very effective. And looking at the disadvantage, we are taking the internet from Accra. So on that stretch, if there is a cut, that means all the four institutes will be down. But that's the disadvantage that we might have. Deputy Director, centralizing the data, the research information. There's a proposal on the director's table, in which the institute is going to work on it. And the Microsoft team will work on it so that we can get it for the institute. Director, I'm sorry, maybe my idea is of time. I can't say that. Several relocation. Here, please, there is an ongoing work at several rooms in which we are going to relocate the librarian from that room. So the room will be spacious, and then the circulation of air will be enough. Weather station, well noted, BM, and then mail list. SLO, we are going to get a new, we are migrating to a new domain. In which when we finish that, we will do the creation of the mail list. Thank you.
What is the problem with the weather station? The rare problem.
The rare problem is what with the USB cable that connects, whereby we can download the data. But we're now putting one, so we are now looking at the configuration of the system. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, our professors and lecturers. I will try to respond as best as I can to the concerns. With regards to Prof. Hans on the active ingredients in the Adipa agro-organic pesticides, we have the ITA bandit, U-ITA unit, 7 ITA, Z10, tetradisant 1 unit, 1 acasanal 1 6 trans vanillin. And this is to the producers of the Adipa pesticide. Our concern is, our request to them is that we give them a proposal so that we shall investigate these active ingredients to find out what was actually stimulating the growth of the pathogens. And also, according to Andre's law on the dose response, he says that some substances at low doses can stimulate growth, and moderate dose will inhibit, and high dose will make it. So we shall also, aside the active ingredients evaluation, we also evaluate these ones to find out if it was the dose which were low and that were resulting to the stimulation of the group, so that the appropriate recommendation will be sent to those that are the class. So we will glad to collaborate with them and then to work on this, to carry on this work. Please to propose your other concern on how we can improve the visibility of the biometric unit. I'd like to say that we will be organizing seminars to show scientists on how we can on what they are missing and could be gained with the inclusion of statisticians on their teams. And also, I'm also engaging and will continue to engage in one-on-one participation of scientists on how statistics can contribute to their work and make their work more replicable. And we shall also, with my other team, Dr. Patricia, we shall organize a workshop very soon, and then we shall talk on the use of the ordered profit model for some constraints. So those interested will come and then be educated with regards to the visibility. And to Prof. Marian Queen, you asked how what separates me from the authorities and the economists? Okay, what I will say is that, by short, we have applied statistics and we have theoretical statistics, and I have done application in theoretical statistics. With regards to the applied statistics, all I have to do, we work with every aspect as far as data is concerned. What is needed is that you make meaningful statistical contributions, and it will come to you as an application. And most, as I said, we continue to collaborate with them and to make sure that the input that we put in the manuscript also qualifies to as application in matured, so that we can also take it together. And so far I've done some theoretical ones, but also continue to focus more on the theoretical ones. And then subsequently we shall continue to evaluate the statistical designs and recommend to scientists the efficient ones so that they can use in their experiments and publications. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I think I have two major ones. First of all, Director, please, the seminar for the new quarterly report format, it will definitely be done. The platform has been redesigned, and so we work on it. And then the major one I think is Dr. Sen BM. Attendance at in-house after the snack in the lunch break. I think the solution will lie in total restructure of the entire in-house program. So discussions are being had. For instance, should we limit attendance to just scientists? Should we reduce the number of presenters? What I know from, for instance, Craig is that we don't do individual presentations, so we do it for the project. So, for instance, if Dr. Opon is on wave, he and the team will come and make just one presentation on wave. Some other projects can also come and do the same. So we can think around it and then see, so that next year we will have a different look to the entire program. Thank you.
We get to know that from the impressions that the visitors give when they come. But I think our issue has to do with the documentation, proper documentation of the feedback. So as I had said, we work on it. Because we've been getting calls from most of the people who visit, some come back to get more information from us. So we relate with the commercialization, and then sometimes we will give them to scientists who are working directly on them, or using learning tools. And with the issue of publications, we've already started something in our head. We are restructuring on how to document the things that so that we can make publications.
Thank you very much. Conference. We wanted to know how we encourage scientists to present their publications. I think you will send a reminder through email. And for Prof. She thanks for your comment and your comments. And you wanted to know the duration, the number of people access the library materials. I think it's on 2020. And the problem we are facing is that many people, when they come to the library to access materials, they refuse to register. And we are using the recordings in the register. So, and those who come there for photocopy and printing and like commercialization, we don't record them in the in our book or register. And then Mr. Mofa, you wanted to know how we're going to inform scientists on material acquisition. I think we were doing it, but we stopped. But since you have drawn our attention to it, we will start doing that. And then Dr. Damso, you were talking about, you were asking about combining. So don't have the combining machine, and it's in our budget to provide one for the Kwadaso station this year. I think I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. I will brief as the chairman said. For funds, the costs, they are in two folds. It's cost effective because most of the AEAs do not visit the farmers or the stakeholders as often as they used to be. So it's more cost effective. And when we realize cost is when the stakeholder has to download, use internet bundle to download, and also sometimes they need to print. And as much as people think that information is free, so immediately there is a little cost, it raises around. That's where the cost comes from. Prof. Bechi, my stakeholders were the agro-processors, farmers, researchers, and students. And then the majority were the AEDs. They also assess the e-agriculture program so that they get information from the farmers, their clients. For Dr. Echampo, I will see you. Director, please, it will come out. It's almost ready. For the 2020, it's ready. We are yet to print it out. But for the soft copy, they have been sent to the authors already online. So I will do that. I will rewrite I will see you to rewrite my title as you have recommended. Mr. Kofa, it's true, we need more staff because for now, we don't have any trained library staff. Those there, one is a senior administrative assistant, and he has 3 years to go on retirement. One is a supervisor, and the two left there, one is a NAPCO personnel, and the other one is a national service personnel. So the permanent staff we have are two now, including me. And the two, none of them have library background, which means that when I'm out, let's say, since it's compulsory to go to school, if I go to school, we don't have a librarian, and we don't have any trained library staff at the library, which is very serious. So I think you being the administrative officer, you can work on it as human resource person. Yes. I think I'm done.
No, we are not done. I wanted to know the challenges we have in the publication of our agenda.
The first one was the funding, but now RSA is ready to fund. The second one is the delay in reviewers reviewing our papers. That is very serious challenge. I don't know. Director, I don't know. In fact, I've been reminding them sometimes, even in our institute, the people will see me, I have my papers with them, and they'll start laughing. It's not, I don't know. And the pressure on me is so much that every author needs an update on this or a paper. And it's becoming very difficult for me when I come in the morning and I open the emails. Pressure. So I don't know. Maybe a committee will meet and see what you can do.
I don't want Loretta only to take the short. I mean, in the general case, you need a member of the natural body. It's not easy to write. I'm facing university. It's not easy. And but you are doing our best to do our best. And just to react have applicant general online. We have different countries and the number of generals that we have. Nigeria has the country that has 252 generals. Nigeria. South Africa has 26. Ghana has 27. The other countries. When we scroll through that, Ghana, when it comes to the area of agriculture, we scroll through, you find the agricultural and food science general of Ghana, which is our Ghana. The other general of agriculture, among the Ghana is the Ghana General of Agricultural Science, which is the general recommended future of the area. So it is only two. It is ours, and the Ghana General of Agricultural Science, and the next is the Ghana General of Forestry. So the areas of agriculture are not the 27 generals in the country, Ghana, just our general and the Ghana General of Agricultural Science. When it comes to generals, all over the world, so many plenty. So the categorization, if you want to categorize, when you are looking deep, and you come to it, you can't go. Because it's not easy. You look at the number of generals over the world. Wasn't that responded after all? Just to let the scientists who are here not feel that, I mean, we are getting manuscripts from all over the continent, and we are getting manuscripts from outside the continent. So, we thank you very much. We will see how best you do the work, but just to let you know that, I don't know whether you know that the Kenya is to categorize the general that they accept, or whether you saw that ours are having to be
the universities in Ghana and then the research.
Yeah, not that we are not. Prof, we can be scientists, but we are young scientists able to publish, and we should know that the journal that we have here is something that is very
Prof, our own scientists are keeping our manuscripts for too long. Maximum 21 days to release.
Thank you. Give it back to us. Thank you. Then we will talk about this on our platform. I will send you, yes, in a seminar and talk about these things. Okay, so shall we give them a hand of applause? You understand?
Yes, we are waiting for coffee for 20 minutes. Those who are presenting immediately after coffee break, please upload your information on the computer. Thank you very much. Administration.
You don't come and
Administration.